Hey everybody, Knolly Williams here, and I've got a super extra special guest for you today. Now, this guest I've been trying to get on for over a year, probably about a year. She is phenomenal. Now, when she joined Mentorship Masters, she just shot up on the scoreboard, if you will, like a rocket. And I was like, who? Now, I had met Amy Smith, who you guys are going to talk to. I'd met her before, but I didn't know she was going to do what she did. And I kept watching her numbers and I said, I've got to talk to Amy because I've got people here that are doing a little less than she is, and they want to know what Amy's doing. So we call this the Six-Figure Success Stories Mentorship Masters Spotlight. Welcome, Amy Smith. How you doing, Amy?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yeah.
What a great introduction.
Well, here's the cool thing, Amy. It's not that you didn't want to talk to me because you're very easy to talk to, but you don't crave the limelight. You don't crave being on YouTube and being in front of the camera. That's not why you do what you do. And so you're like, oh, it's but so many people have seen you. They've seen you on the scoreboard that we keep, which we love. I mean, it's fun, right? We keep our our little
Yeah.
list. And they're
Yeah.
like, what is she doing? I'm like, I'm not sure, but soon I'm going to talk to her and find out. So one of the things I love about you, Amy, is that from when I first met you, um, you you've got your sphere of influence working, but
Yeah.
you also have a niche. You've niched down and you've found a specialty that people know you for and they come to you for, and you created a pipeline. So you've got consistent closings. You're not living in the world of feast or famine like a lot of real estate agents live that haven't done a deal in 2-3 months. Then they do a deal, then they go 3 months without. You've got consistency,
Yeah.
and you work with one of my greatest best friends in the world, Stuart Sutton.
Yeah.
So those are all the things that I love about you. But I'm going to find out more things today, I'm sure. So just to kick it off, Amy, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you've been in the business, um, how did you get into real estate, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure. So I've been in the business since 2008. Before being a realtor, I was a nurse, and I left nursing to stay at home with the kids. And then when it was time to come back to the workforce, I really didn't want to be in nursing anymore. The hours didn't work for me. And the stock market had just started to tank. And so what better way to start investing in real estate than to become a realtor? And here I am, like, I don't know, 10, 12 years later. So it really was just meant for us to buy investment properties, but I just
That's
liked it
interesting.
so much. So
That's interesting. So 2008. Now that wasn't an easy time. That
no.
wasn't that wasn't an easy market. So how did you survive during those down years?
So thankfully, I was never the breadwinner at that time. I just got to know the market, previewed properties, was patient. I got my listings, and then just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah. So now, fast forward 12 years, or maybe a little more than that later, you're making multiple six figures a year,
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing it with ease. It almost seems like I won't say it. It seems like you don't work. It just seems like what it almost seems like it's just second nature to you. Like success, it's almost like success has become second nature. How did that happen?
Um, I I guess there's what that old cliche, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So truly, I really love marketing, so I gravitate toward the listings. Um, so yeah, I just keep busy with listings and just helping people wherever I can.
Listings, that's where it's at. You hear that, folks? I've been
Yeah.
I've been telling them for so long, Amy, that listings is the game because
Yeah.
you can work a listing and spend probably 20% of the amount of time that it would take to work a buyer and earn the same
Yes.
fee. You
Yes.
know, so what's your routine look like? Are you like how are you getting your business? Because you're do you know how you're getting your business? I mean, I know you work a niche and you work your SOI, your sphere, uh, but what are some of your favorite ways to generate leads?
So one of my niches is out of town owners. Um, so, every month, I would say I go download a new little area, like a neighborhood or zip code or whatever, and I kind of go through, I figure out which houses are most likely to move, and I start mailing to them. And another niche that I do would be expireds, and every day when an expired comes, I drop off a listing packet at their house and just start my process, showing them how I can help them.
Another interesting thing about you, Amy, that I found fascinating when we first met was that you don't have a super huge radius of area that you work. You actually work a tight-knit, close area that's almost like a jogging trail, or like easy to drive to, if you will. How have you? It's almost like you've created this dream life and dream business around you. How have you managed to do that?
Yeah. So that part is niche marketing and neighborhood farming. I kind of had the trifecta. I lived in the neighborhood. I was on the board. My kids went to school there. We were always at parks and, just really active in our community. And one time my daughter and I were taking our dog for a walk. It was a Saturday morning. My hair was not done. And this guy, we had just walked past his house and he started following us. He's like, "Are you Amy Smith? Are you Amy Smith? I need to sell my house." So
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and we love that, don't we? We love when it all comes together. So let me rewind a little bit. So you said that you work with absentee owners.
Yes.
That maybe renting their house out, and it's like, "Hey buddy, do you know how much your home is worth right now?"
Yeah.
Have you considered selling,
Yes.
And so, but you've been doing that for how long? How long have you worked that niche?
Probably 3 or 4 years.
Okay. And I've never talked to anybody that works that niche. Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you decide on that niche? Like, what makes that niche exciting for you?
I don't know. I guess, so part of what I like to do, not only in marketing, I like to stage too. That kind of gave me an opportunity where there's probably going to be a vacant house and I could stage it. Just a USP, something that sets me apart from any other realtor. Also, it helps get my little creative juices out and going. Sometimes they can be a little bit easier to manage time-wise because I'm not necessarily meeting with the seller, right? We can have a conversation over the phone, and then I go over and stage it when I need to, or that kind of stuff. So time management too.
and probably there's less emotion on the side of the seller.
Yeah.
Because they're not selling the property they live in, they're selling, and it's more of a business decision for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a business transaction. So you're actually working almost like a B2B, a business to business versus a business to consumer type of concept with that particular niche. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So are you the type of person that just picks up the phone and bangs the phones out and just has these robo dialers one after another? Okay, you're calling 3 people at the same time and whoever picks up first, and you're just hitting it that way? Are you just making a lot of cold calls? No, I see you shaking your head no. So you, and if I were to say, would you say you're a shy person or you're more outgoing? How would you say?
I am very shy until you say hi to me, and then I will not shut up.
Okay. So you prefer business to come incoming, and when they raise their hand and say, "Hey, I need help," boom, you're Johnny on the spot. But you don't like pursuing them so much as that. So you've created a business model where people are reaching out to you. Of course, you reach out to them, and I'm thinking you do it mostly through postcards and letters, or are you doing some other method?
Yeah, no. Stuart Sutton is amazing, and he taught me, how to market in ways that people drive them to you. So I use stealth pages. I just constantly sending items of value to my target, whoever I'm trying to get to do business with me. And eventually, I think you reach a level where they're like, okay, this person really can help me I need to call her to find out what else she can do and how to get it done.
I love it. I love it. Well, let me ask you this. So did you always have it easy in real estate, or did you struggle at the beginning, or how was your trajectory?
I really struggled in the beginning. Just the first brokerage that I was at, they really, really focused on open houses, and you had to do them pretty much every week. And so for the first 2 years, I tried to do that, and finally it dawned on me that when people were walking up to the open house and I was kind of freaking out, like, I wish they wouldn't be here, I probably needed to find a different way to market if I was going to be in real estate. So
that's interesting, because a lot of people, Amy, never come to that conclusion. And really all it is, now there's a guy that I'm thinking of right now who his primary business model is open houses. That's what he does. But then there's others of us that doesn't, fill our bucket, if you will. And it's all personality profile driven. So, his personality profile is one where he can't wait for the, to do the open house, and yours is one where it just doesn't work for you. And that's why everybody can succeed in real estate if they pursue, what they're naturally, acclimated toward. So you just had that, it was 2 years in. And then what'd you do after that? You said, okay, this is not for me. Did you try a lot of other things and then eventually keyed on to something?
So actually an opportunity came up to be Stuart's, what do you call it? Like, he would mentor you if you would like take flyers and stuff out to him.
Yeah.
And so I interviewed for that, and then
apprenticeship.
Yeah. And so I've just been learning from him ever since. And he was the top agent in our office at that time as well, and never did an open house. And, we have very similar personalities, him and I.
Yeah.
And so just pretty much learning from the master. So
now I got to say this about Stuart. I won't say too much because I don't want to, blow up his head or anything. But Stuart is absolutely phenomenal. He's one of the few people on the planet that I can get together with him and we can talk at a level like he's always 2 or 3 steps ahead of what I'm thinking. And the guy is just absolutely brilliant. And Rand Smith played a big part of that as well. But the key is it's not just what you learn, it's what you implement. So you're learning from a master, but you're actually doing, because I'm sure that since 2008, you've seen other people apprentice with Stuart that maybe didn't hit the level of multiple 6 figures a year and selling a ton of houses like you are. So, so what is it about you that gives you the tenacity and the stick-to-itiveness to succeed in this business? What would you say?
I genuinely like helping people. And so I see it not as a transaction, but as, I'm helping this person, I'm helping this person, and, maybe they're getting a divorce, and if I can take the house sale off of their plate and make it as smooth as possible, or maybe they've had a death in the family, and I just can take that and carry that for them. That's,
I love it.
I enjoy that.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk a little bit about EXP, because you see the EXP behind me, and EXP has absolutely changed my life. I've been with, I was Remax for 5 years, Keller Williams for 10, love both companies, but this has been life-changing for me. And when I brought the idea to Stuart, he wasn't a no, he was a hell no. He was like, hell to the no. Like, and he, one of my best friends of all time. And I'm like, dude. And, but, eventually he really looked at it, and he has this whole thing now where anytime I see him, he's upset with me that I didn't bring him over here earlier because of all the money he missed out on. He's got it calculated down to the exact amount that he missed out.
Oh, he has a spreadsheet. Yeah.
Of all the money that he missed out by not joining when I first invited him. But then when he brought it to the team, I want to find out how that is, because you guys had been with a different brokerage for a long time, and top agent at that brokerage Stuart was, and you were one of the top agents there as well. How was that conversation when he brought it to you guys? Like, hey, I'm thinking about, did you think he was crazy? What was the deal there?
To be honest, I really hadn't because I was happy at our other brokerage, I hadn't really thought about it. And we'd been there for 10 years and everything was fine. I like my broker. So when he mentioned EXP, I started looking into it. And the thing that I was most excited about was the education. You can literally go take a class from someone in Washington or New York or whatever, and get a whole bunch of different marketing ideas, stuff that people are not doing and using in your market. So even though I was, with a top team and had access to other top teams, they were all in our market. And so why would I want to keep on doing something that other people were already using in our market? So the education was a factor.
It's interesting that you say that, Amy, because just this morning, my wife and I were talking about how, we're about to have EXP Con coming up in a few weeks. And we're talking about whenever we went to the big, conventions at our previous brokerages, it was a big deal because and EXPCon is a big deal too, but it was a big deal because that was the only time that I got to hear from that agent in Washington or that agent in New York or that agent in wherever, California. That was the only time that I got to hear from other top agents like myself that were really, doing it. But what we actually get spoiled with here at EXP is we get that every single day. We log in, we go in the EXP world, and we're able to attend a class, and all the classes are taught by, most of them are by icon agents that are making $250,000 or more in commission a year in order to even be qualified as a teacher here. And there's about 60 to 80 hours of live training every single week where you can raise your hand and ask a question, and it's live, it's in real time. So it's like being at a convention every single week. It's pretty special. It's
very
pretty special.
exciting.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. And even with all the training that you have already gotten that's made you successful, you see the need to continue learning, and that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. And I will say, since I've gotten here, I didn't know really that this was like a passion of mine, I guess. But since I arrived at EXP, I had the opportunity to join the mentoring program and mentor people. Woo. And that has really sparked something in me that I'm really excited about. So.
This is interesting, Amy, because one of the things that I try to teach my students is that when you're called to be a leader, which you're called to be a leader because others are looking up to you, and you're like, go away. I'm not a leader. I just want to do my thing over here and be happy and hang out with my family. Leave me alone. But the reality is God has bigger things for you. And it really does call you into leadership for sure. And then being a mentor, which we thank you for serving in that capacity, really raises your game because now you got people, looking over your shoulder and depending on you, so to speak. Yeah. So that's really changed you, huh?
Yeah, it sure has. Yeah.
What would you say to an agent right now that's they're not on the same trajectory as Amy Smith? They're struggling in the business. Maybe they've been in the business for several years and they're like, I don't know how to even navigate this new market. It seems like, you got in a down market, you came into an up market, then you came into a low inventory market, but you've always been, after you hit your stride, you've never lost pace. So you've always had success. No matter what the market does, you've kind of unlocked and figured it out. So what would you say to those agents out there that are struggling right now?
I would say, think of real estate as a smorgasbord. There is plenty of business for, if you don't like cold calling, there's ways to do business and get business that are more comfortable. And, on that smorgasbord, figure out who you want to work with and figure out what is comfortable to you. If you like cold calling, great, do that. Work with that kind of thing. Find what's going to work for you and lean into it. That's what I would say.
I love it. And you kind of know what works for you because of how you feel. You're like, man, I like this. Like when the open houses were happening, you get that little feeling. You just didn't like it. It just didn't feel right to you.
Yeah.
And some people get fired up, like we said about it. So here's what I want to share, Amy. For those of you that are watching right now, that are listening to this, watching it, whichever one may be the case, you should get in touch with Amy Smith. Why? She's already a mentor here, but she is available to talk to you about your career and, of course, to sponsor you here at Mentorship Masters and into EXP. Why? Because you want to learn from somebody that is successful, that has been successful for many years. And so we've got her phone number down below, and you can probably text her. It'd be easier because Amy's pretty busy. Or you can give her a call, or you can go to the website down below. We've got her unique website where you can learn all about partnering with her here. And we really are trying to grow this thing. I mean, a lot of times, Amy, we hear, they just want to recruit. They just want to bring a lot of people. Well, yeah, I want to bring as many people. Why? Because we're Christ-centered. Okay, we're a Christ-centered group. We love the Lord. We love real estate. And we believe more people should be here. We think more agents should be here because then they're going to have the optimal chance for success. So reach out to Amy. The one question I wanted to ask is your schedule. Like how much time do you put in to the real estate business? Is it like 100 hours a week, 80 hours a week? What's your schedule? I mean, I know you love to do this, so it's just fun, you know, the whole time. But how much time do you actually put into the business yourself?
So sometimes it's 30 hours a week, and then other times it's more like 60. It just kind of depends. I really struggle to be a schedule-oriented person. So Stuart has been pounding it into my head forever. Consistency. I'm just not built like that. But so I do whatever needs to be done. But generally, it's at least 30, sometimes 60.
Yeah, and that can actually go down as you start getting more help. As you start leveraging yourself even more. And that's another thing that I teach pretty big too. So that'll come as it needs to. So just around the future, like what do you see? What's the next chapter for you? Where do you see yourself? Because you talk about that smorgasbord. Where's God leading you next? Or do you know?
Wow. So this year has opened up a lot of opportunities for me from just kind of facing fears and stuff. I don't like being on camera and stuff like that, but Zoom call with my mentees and then helping Stuart with his. I see in the next 5 years, I would love to do some public speaking and maybe grow a coaching business. Of
That's
course,
awesome.
keep on selling real estate, but kind of add to my toolbox.
I love it. And we have our celebrity agent program here. I don't know if you even know about this, but that's where I teach you how to become a coach. I've been a one-on-one coach for 15 years. I teach you step by step how to start a coaching business. I also have another program called Success with Seminars, where I teach you step by step as a mentorship master in our celebrity program. Anybody can enter if that's your passion and where God's leading you. But I teach you how to put on seminars and how to do the public events and things like that. So no matter what your future passions are, you can continue to grow with us. So, hey, we're honored to have you, as a mentorship master. I thank Stuart for introducing you to me and to the tribe. Is there anything that is on your heart that you want to mention, maybe that we didn't touch on, or anything that God has put on your heart to share about that we haven't? And by the way, I love your background. I love you're out in nature. So beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so honored to be a part of the team and just be with like-minded people that are very giving with their time and their energy. And so I'm happy to be a part of Mentor Masters. So thank you.
Yeah. And also not only that, but you're happy now to pay it forward and help others. So
Absolutely.
Guys, we got her number down below and her contact website as well. Thank you so much, Amy Smith. We know that you don't cherish, being in the limelight, and we appreciate that about you as well. You don't need or crave the spotlight, but you are helping other people with your story and no doubt about it. And God is really raising you up into leadership, as you said. So we honor you. We thank you for being part of this.
Thank you.
God bless you. Have a good day.
You too.